Hello viewers, welcome to the another interesting lecture of digital communication. This lecture is totally conducted by Ganon powered by Wishback. In this segment we are going to discuss pulse width modulation or PWM. In this case the signal is varied according to the width of the message signal. Seems to be interesting. Okay, let us start our discussion today. In this case, sinusoidal message signal is transferred into pulse width modulation. When the sinusoidal signal amplitude is minimum, the width of the pulse is less. When the sinusoidal signal amplitude is maximum, the width of the pulse is high. When the sinusoidal signal amplitude is minimum, the width of the pulse is less. Here, the modulated signal is varied, hence it is known as pulse width modulation or PWM. Now let us discuss the transmitter or the generation of this pulse width modulation. In pulse width signal, it can be generated by using a comparator, where modulating signal and sawtooth signal form the input of the comparator. It is the simplest method for PWM generation. As shown in the figure, one input of the comparator is fed by the input message signal or modulating signal, and the other input is sawtooth signal, which operates as a carrier frequency. What is a carrier frequency? Can you remember? Basically, it carries the message signal. That's why the name is carrier frequency. Now let us discuss how it is generated. Consider both positive and negative side. The maximum of the input signal should be less than that of the sawtooth signal. The comparator will compare the two signals together to generate the pulse width modulated signal at its output as shown in the waveform. The rising edge of the pulse width modulation signal coincides with the falling edge of the sawtooth signal. When the sawtooth signal is at minimum value, which is less than that the minimum of the input signal, then the position input of the comparator is at high potential, which gives the comparator output as positive. When the sawtooth signal rises and it is at maximum value, the negative input of the comparator is higher potential, which will produce the comparator output to be negative. Thus, the input signal magnitude determines the comparator output and its potential, which then decide the width of the pulse generated at the output. It is our motto. That means to generate the pulse width modulation. In other words, we can say that the width of the pulse generated signal is directly proportional to the amplitude of the modulating signal. Now let us discuss the receiver. The receiver section consists of pulse generator, ramp and the pedestal generator, then reference pulse generator, clipper, low pass filter. Now let us discuss the function of each block individually and in detail. The circuit shown is a pulse generator circuit. This circuit consists of a 555 timer IC is configured to function as an astable multivibrator. And what is the function of an astable multivibrator? An astable multivibrator is a timing circuit whose low and high states are both unstable. As such, the output of an astable multivibrator toggles between low and high or high to low, in effect generating a train of the pulses. This circuit is therefore also known as pulse generator circuit. Now let us discuss the ramp and the pedestal generator. The figure shows for ramp and pedestal triggering of two thyristors connected in anti-parallel for controlling the power in an AC load. Ramp and pedestal triggering is an improved version of synchronized UJT oscillator triggering. The output is simply one ramp signal. Now let us discuss pulse generation. The reference pulse is generated by the 555 timer circuit. Now let us discuss the clipper circuit. The clipper circuit is of two types. One is positive biased circuit where the positive half is clipped off. The clipper circuit may be of negative biased circuit where the negative half is clipped. Lastly, in the receiver, there is one low pass filter. What is a low pass filter? The low pass filter consists of a resistance R and capacitance C. The output is low frequency signal output. That's all about the receiver. That means you retrieve the message signal at the receiver. Now let us discuss the advantage of pulse width modulation. First of all, it is very cheap to make. The second one is it has low power consumption. Efficiency is up to 90%. So far so good. A signal can be separated very easily at demodulation and noise can be also easily separated. It has high power handling capacity. It can utilize very high frequency, little heat while working. Noise interference is less in this circuit. Very energy efficient when used to convert the voltage or to its light bulb. A system is in moderate inefficiency among all three types. Synchronization between the transmitter and the receiver is not required, unlike the pulse position modulation or PPM. Then filter requirement is reduced. Amplitude and frequency can be controlled independently. Significant reduction in THD of load current. Now obviously every system has some disadvantage. What is the disadvantage of pulse width modulation? The complexity of the circuit is high in some cases. The voltage spikes is generated. In the pulse width modulation, the system required a semiconductor device with low turn on and turn off times. Hence they are very expensive. Radio frequency interference may occur in pulse width modulation. There is some electromagnetic noise in pulse width modulation. Bandwidth should be large to use in communication in case of the pulse width modulation. High switching loss due to the high PWM frequency. And instantaneous power of the transmitter varies in case of pulse width modulation. Now let us discuss the application of the pulse width modulation. The application include pulse width modulation technique are used in telecommunications for encoding purpose. Pulse width modulation helps in voltage regulation and thus find its use in controlling brightness in smart lighting systems and also controls the speed of the motors. Computer motherboard requires PWM signal that controls the heat generated in the board. 4-pin PWM header is embedded in the fan that helps to dissipate the heat from the motherboard. It is also used in audio or video amplifiers. Now what we have discussed today? We have discussed pulse width modulation basic concept. Then we discussed pulse width modulation generation. After that, obviously, pulse width modulation detection. Then we discussed advantage of the pulse width modulation, then disadvantage of the pulse width modulation, and lastly, the application of the pulse width modulation. That's all for this segment. In the next segment, we are going to discuss another very interesting topic. That's all. Stay tuned to GANON. Bye.